Hi, I'm Kevin Reeves. I'm the music director of 17 Voices, and we have a concert entitled Motets and Madrigals this coming Sunday, May the 7th, 7:30 at St. Matthew's Church. And I thought that I would talk a little bit, maybe not so much about the music, but about what the composers actually look like, because, you know, we don't really know what a lot of these people look like, except maybe Bach and Mozart, Beethoven, that sort of thing. I do have today, I've got lithographs, I've got sketches, I've got paintings of composers, and I've got caricatures, as a matter of fact. So here we go. Here we're going to start with the Renaissance, with the two stalwart Renaissance composers, William Byrd and Thomas Tallis. So here's William Byrd here. Okay, there's a lithograph, and now we have this caricature. And in fact, here is a caricature that I did many, many years ago of William Byrd. Then we have Thomas Tallis, and here's what he looked like in lithograph. And here's quite an interesting caricature here of Thomas Tallis. You probably know him through his motet for 40 voices, Speminalium, which we're not doing because we're only 17, of course. Let's move on to Dr. John Blow, whose famous student was Henry Purcell. Blow was at Westminster Abbey, which is making the news this weekend, of course, with the coronation. He decided that he was going to step down and give his job to this man, Henry Purcell, at the age of 21, because he thought he was much better. And here is a caricature of Purcell, and here is my caricature of Purcell. Let's move on to Mendelssohn. Here's Felix Mendelssohn. We're doing his very famous piece, Hear My Prayer. And he actually went to London in the middle 19th century, mid-19th century, to give Victoria singing and piano lessons. So here they are, Mendelssohn and Victoria and Prince Albert. And then we've got some caricatures. Here's one by Aubrey Beardsley. And here's one, I'm not sure who did this one. Let's move on to Charles Stanford, the Irish composer who also went to London. And here's what he looks like. It's a photo. And then here's a sketch of him by Rothenstein. And then here's a caricature by the very famous Spy, is his name, from Vanity Fair. Let's move on to Francis Poulenc. Poulenc, the early part of the 20th century, very distinctive, very humorous music. In this case, not so humorous. It's Exultate Deo, based on Palestrina's Exultate Deo, in which case we're doing both. So here's what Francis Poulenc looks like. And then here's a caricature on the right. And then a famous sketch by Jean Cocteau. And of all people, here's a caricature by Pablo Picasso. Now let's move on to Malcolm Williamson, the 20th century. He was master of the Queen's music in the 1970s until his death in 2003. I actually met this fellow in Toronto many years ago. And here he is, a very young photograph of him. And here is a painting, and I'm not sure who did it, but there we are, a rogues gallery of the composers we're presenting at St. Matthew's Church this coming Sunday, May the 7th at 7:30. Hope to see you there. Bye.